Hello and welcome, Adam Thomas from Bouncing Touch Reflexology. So good to see you and thanks for joining me today. Well, we continue with another video on the series of difficult reflexes. And today we are going to tackle the spine reflexes. I find the most difficult part about working with the spine is just the fact that it's all the way down the arch of the foot, right? And also I have learned to go up the leg about 6 or so inches, right? So that in itself, just the area that you have to cover when you're doing the spine is a challenge on its own, right? So in this video, I want to check out how I've found the best way to work on the spine. So when I do the spine, I do it in 3 lines that go up and down, right? And one that actually goes a little bit further. I'll show you in a second. But just getting your hands to work up, or your thumbs, and then work back again is really a lot of work, right? So if this is, if you want to get good at reflexology, the spine is one of those ones that are good training for your thumbs to get good at. So the first line I'll show you, and this has to do with the spinal muscles, right? And that line is right from the nose reflex, which is that little sticky outy part across from the nail bed here. Okay, let's see if you can see it. If I zoom in a little bit better, you'll see right in here, across from the nail bed, there's a little bump there. And then the other part that we're going to look for is the corner of the heel, which is right here. Okay, so if there was a corner, I know it's round, but if there was a corner, that would be the bottom of the spine there. And all you need to do there is work in a direct straight line. So not following the curve of the foot too much, but a direct straight line. Okay, so you're going to go straight down that way, all the way up to the nose. So the way that it works is you walk down to there, and then you come with your other hand and work back up again. Okay, so that's the first line. The second line is like the nerve ganglia, okay? And that's going to be, you just take this line in, basically a half a thumbprint almost, right? So if it was here before, now you're going to move it in. And then you work that in a straight line. So try not to follow too much of the curve of the foot. You're going to naturally follow the curve of the foot, but the focus is not to follow the direct curve. And then that's line 2, so that's the ganglia, nerve ganglia. Then the third one is the actual vertebrae, the actual bones on the spine, right? And that one is going to actually, again, they all start at the nose reflex, because the nose directly behind here is the top of the spine, the axis, right, where your head turns. And so that is where the top of the spine is. So this one is going to be walking down, and this time you're going to be pushing in and finding and pushing up into the bony structure of the arch of the foot. And then you're also going to be wrapping around the ankle bone, and then you're going to come up about 6 inches. Okay, so about that much. And then the challenge with this one is you come back again, right, and work your way all the way back up again. So the whole thing looks like this. You walk down, you come back up. That's one, that's the spinal muscles. Then the ganglia, so you move in a little bit, move your target, walk down, turn, walk back up again. And then the spinal, basically the vertebrae, you're walking up like that, turn, and come back up again. Okay, so that's one challenge with this reflex. The other challenge, which I think is it's the simplest one to fix, is where you position your body. This is the most important, I feel, because once you're comfortable, then it's going to be a little bit easier for you to work with these reflexes, right? So a trick here is, see how I'm sitting and I'm right on the foot, right? My body is right on the foot. And if I try and walk down this way, see, I'm getting this bend in my wrist, and that is not good at all. That's very, it's gonna create injuries in your wrist basically if you keep doing reflexology this way. So a trick to this is you want to get your back basically, and you want to be sitting at a 45-degree angle to the client. Okay, so this is where you're going to be sitting at a 45-degree angle, right? So before I was sitting like this, now I'm sitting like that. Now if I put my hands in the first position, the spinal muscles, you're going to notice that now this wrist is nice and straight, and so is this. So if I actually do a pass here and walk straight down to the heel here, right? My wrist isn't bent weird. And walk back up again. And again, my wrist stayed relatively straight, which is what you want, right? And now I'm in a great position to work up and down. And so then we move into the next one, right? So there's the corner there. There's my starting thumb. Now I'm going to move in slightly, and now there's my target. So I'm going straight to my thumb. Right, so walk straight down to that point, and then you're going to come back up again. Okay, and then the next line looks like this, coming down, pushing up into basically the bones of the foot. Lighten up a little bit when you come around here, because it can be a little bit sensitive, and then pushing up into the big bone there. And you stop there. And this one you're going to have to lean in a little bit. Come around the ankle there. All the way up to the nose reflex again. Okay, so those are basically the things that you want to keep in mind, right? Body mechanics, keeping it nice in the good location is going to be the best for you by sitting at a 45-degree angle. And then just practicing going up and down, right? Another thing that might help you as well is make sure that you're sitting at a good height, okay? So for me, this is actually a tiny bit low. Ideally, I'd want to be around here. Okay, so you'll have to work that out. The rule of thumb here is basically you want to have, when you're working, your elbow and arm at a 90-degree angle. So you don't want it too low, and the way that I'm working right now is I'm a little bit high, like that. Right? But it's not unreasonable where I'm sitting right now. So this tends to be a good way. So hopefully that helps. So try those out, see if they can help you get through the spine reflex, right? Another thing, when you are sitting here at this angle and the walking might be getting a little bit tough for you, what you can do is actually a dot-to-dot type action where you're moving like this. And it's perfect because you're in that position where here, if you're sitting back over here, you're like this. And it's hard here and it's hard here because I'm getting a curve that way now. Right? Where if I move back to my 45, now you're going to notice that when I'm pushing straight in, both of my wrists are nice and straight. And I can get a bit more deeper, comfortable pressure. When I was first learning reflexology, the spine was one of those reflexes that kind of scared me, right? Just because by the time I finished doing it, my thumbs were just on fire. They were aching, right? And so hopefully this video helps you, at least when you're in the right body position, to help you get through the reflex. And then when you are in that body position, you're able to change your techniques a little bit like you saw in the video, right? So hopefully that helps. The spine is a big one. So, and it's also a great one to get your reflexology chops up, basically. Like, get your hands in shape, get your shoulders relaxed, get your whole body working, because it's a hard one. At least for me, it was a really hard one. And I see a lot of students kind of just jumping and, you know, trying to get to the nose as fast as they can on the way back, right, for example. And really, when we're working reflexology, we want to be as thorough as we can. At least that's what I've found to be the most effective. And so really practicing this one, slowing down and not being in a rush, will just really help your reflexology go to that next level, right? So yeah, hopefully that helps. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, this might be a good time if you're into learning tips and tricks about reflexology and right now following the series on difficult reflexes, right? Easiest way to do that is subscribe, and there's a little bell icon that will pop up, or if it doesn't pop up, you can see it, and you click on that, and that will let you know basically when I have a new video coming out in this series. So if you have an easy way to work on the spine, I would love to hear it, comment below. So yeah, until next time, Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch Reflexology, and remember to keep those feet happy. Bye-bye.